Welcome to Zimmerman Podcast, episode 75. Today, we're talking about how to enjoy the weekends again. Whether you have a 9 to 5 job, you own your own business, or you're a stay-at-home parent, you're probably familiar with the feeling of dread that creeps in when you know the weekend is about to end and a new week is starting. I'm going to share some of my helpful hacks with you so you can both enjoy your weekends again and not dread your weekdays so much. All right, you ready? Let's do it.
Welcome to the Zimmerman Podcast with your host, CEO, wedding professional, educator, and mom, Jessica Zimmerman. In just 2 years, Jessica went from facing bankruptcy to taking home a 6-figure salary. She turned a business-saving $100,000 loan into a $1 million empire. As a creative entrepreneur, a healthy work-life balance seems just as unattainable as a 6-figure income. But Jessica Zimmerman is here to show you it's possible. With the right tools and insider tips and some hard work, your craziest dreams can become your daily routine. If you set some boundaries and commit to healthy changes, you can create a business and a life you love. So let's make your business work for you.
If you want to build a great business or live a good life, you've got to plan for it. Every year, I take a whole month to reevaluate the past 12 months and figure out what worked, what didn't, and how I can create a life I love for the following year. I teach you my exact planning process in my program, Know Your Numbers, Annual Planning for Your Best Year. If you want a free training to get some tips on planning your best year yet, go to zimmermanpodcast.com/knowyournumbers. That's zimmermanpodcast.com/knowyournumbers. We all know someone who feels great on a Friday night because work is over for the weekend, who lives it up on Saturdays, and then Sunday hits, and this sneaky depression sets in, and they can't really enjoy their Sunday because all they're thinking about is how the weekend is almost over, right? Maybe that someone is you. Whether you own your own business or work for someone else, there's something magical about the weekends. But how do we enjoy them when all we can think about is how they're about to end? That's no way to live. I think a lot of people have fun on Saturday because Sunday turns into a home work day, a day of doing unfun things, but at home instead of at work. It's the day people spend cleaning, grocery shopping, doing homework. It doesn't feel like a weekend because you're not treating it like a weekend. And if you're not treating it like a weekend, then you're really only getting one day a week to do what you want. And yeah, that's not fun at all. What would it look like if you could find a way to both set apart your weekends more and make your weekdays not so dread-inducing? What would it look like if you got up a little earlier each day during the week? I'm recording this podcast at 8:30 in the morning, and I've been up since 4:30. I've already had what feels like an entire day before my workday has even started. I woke up, drank my tea, read my book, had some alone time, ate breakfast with my family, worked out. I didn't just wake up and rush off to get work done. I feel like I've had a great day already, and it's only 8:30. And because when I'm done with work, I'm really done, I know that I can have another full day of moments I really love with my family after I close my computer each day. So before we even look at our weekends, let's take a look at our weekdays. Can you get started earlier so you have an extra hour or alone time reading, drinking coffee, taking an extra long shower, doing something you enjoy? The weekends don't have to have all the fun. And when you're home from work at the end of the day, how can you be really at home? Can you leave your phone in the other room so you can't check your texts? Leave your laptop shut so you can't read those emails that are going to be hitting your inbox after hours? Can you decide as a family to make some boundaries on after-school activities so you have some quality time on weeknights at home? The first step in enjoying the weekends again is to not force them to do all the heavy lifting. How can you make every day, or at least a part of every day, something you look forward to? When it comes to weekends, think about every chore and task you set aside for Saturdays and Sundays. Is it mowing the lawn, grocery shopping, cleaning, getting your car washed, doing laundry? Now think about what you can do to outsource those things. Now I know what you're thinking. You don't have the money to hire a maid and someone to mow your lawn and detail your car. Guess what? You can. You can. You can't afford everything, but you can afford anything if it's worth it to you. 6 years ago, I spent my Saturdays doing weddings and my Sundays cleaning. So I really did not have a weekend at all. Well, after going through an early version of my program, Know Your Numbers, I realized that I was spending something insane, like $1,500 a year on Sonic beverages, just like Coca-Cola. I have a friend who did Know Your Numbers and realized she was spending $5,000 a year on Starbucks. I know people who realize they've spent tens of thousands of dollars eating out at restaurants and takeout. Well, after seeing that, I was pretty grossed out. First, because I was putting $1,500 worth of Cokes into my body. And secondly, because there were about a million other things I'd rather spend that money on. So I decided to take that money and spend it on a house cleaner to come twice a month. I had wanted to give up Cokes anyway, and this was the perfect excuse. I'd rather drink water and not spend my Sundays cleaning. I had a student who had a gym membership that she never, ever, ever used. She and her husband also both hated mowing the lawn. They dreaded it. She lived in Colorado. I said, "Girl, you live in Colorado. It's like the most beautiful place in the world. Cancel that gym membership and go hiking, go for a walk, run outside, be outside, and use that money to pay to have someone mow your lawn." I had another student who would go to Target, and anytime she went to Target, she bought some random decor. I mean, who can relate to that, right? But anytime she saw something she liked, she bought it. I asked her, if someone took all the things you bought at Target over the last year and they took them away, they took them out of your house, how would you feel? She said, "Jess, I really don't think I'd care. I'm not really connected to any of those things." So she freed up about $50 to $100 a trip just by not buying a lamp or a bowl or a vase or a freaking shower curtain each time she went to Target. There are also so many time-saving things you can do that might save you money. Can you get groceries delivered and save money by not tossing those last-minute cravings into the cart? You can save so much time and have so much more ability to stay in budget by ordering groceries online and getting them delivered to your doorstep. If you go through your budget and you don't find any wiggle room, then how can you find ways to make your chores more integrated throughout the week? Can you get in the habit of throwing in a load of laundry right before you leave for work every morning and then switching it over when you come home for lunch or after work? What if you just committed to doing one load every single weekday instead of saving it all for when you have some well-deserved downtime? If you chose one of your Sunday chores and chose to do it on a weekday, then your days won't seem any more sucky. It's already a non-weekend day, and you can open up so much more time during the weekends. And if you start all of your days, even your weekend days, with purpose and wake up even just an hour earlier than you currently do, you can have more time to do what you want to do while not falling behind on what you need to do. Okay, so summer 2019, imagine me waking up at 5 a.m., taking my kids to the gym while I work out with my trainer, going to the pool, playing blocks on the living room floor, and then wham, totally out of energy by 4 p.m. Crawling into bed in my Christmas pajamas. I was already doing all the energy boosting things I could think of. Then my nutritionist told me about Bee Powered from Beekeeper's Naturals. I just take a spoonful of the Bee Powered superfood honey every morning, and I'm not kidding. I see a huge difference. I know not everyone can have a nutritionist, but anyone can get this superfood honey, and I'm making it even more accessible for you. If you use the link in my show notes or simply go to zimmermanpodcast.com/bee, you'll get 15% off your order from Beekeeper's Naturals. So if you're a tired entrepreneur or foggy-brained parent, you need this stuff. Again, go to zimmermanpodcast.com/BEE. I hope you found a new strategy to creating a weekend that's more restful and fun, while also making your weekdays something you don't want to run away from. If you try out one of these strategies this week, I'd love to hear about it. Send me a DM and let me know how waking up an hour earlier, outsourcing your least favorite household task, or making a weekend task part of your weekday routine worked for you. If you loved what you heard today, make sure you share, rate, review, and subscribe. Your partnership keeps this podcast going. I'll see you next week on Zimmerman Podcast.
If you loved what you heard today, even if you liked it a lot, you should subscribe and leave a review. We'll see you back here next time in the Zimmerman Podcast.